Hi guys, I know what you're here for. You want the sheep, you want the cat, you want the chickens. That's what the title says. You will get all of that. What you won't get is the address book, which I kind of promised in my TBR video. So this is a reading vlog for two novellas by Djeli Clark, which I read instead of the address book. So almost the same, right? Yeah, if you don't care about the books but still want to see the animals, I will put timestamps into this video so you can skip to those sections. If you don't care about the animals, what's wrong with you? But you can skip those parts as well. So let's get going. Hi guys, I'm at a friend's place and this is why nothing looks like at my place. So we're staying here for a couple of days and I decided to bring a book. So I brought the address book by Deirdre Mask and I decided to read this in the couple of days that we're staying here. You see this young and optimistic person? Yeah, she didn't read the book. No address book. Still no address book. I'm sorry, guys. And hopefully I'll make it. I thought to kind of put this in a kind of reading vlog because this is not the city, so this is more of like the countryside and there's animals outside, which I'm going to visit soon. And I thought I'd take some pictures of those animals because they're very cute. And yeah, I'm very hopeful that I will be able to read this book during our stay here. Sorry. Yeah, so let's go meet the animals. Alright, so I put on a jacket and a hat because even though it's May already, it's still cold and it's wet outside and I don't want to go outside and get all wet even though there's animals outside. But yeah, so... Alright, so I see some animal friends. Maybe they'll come over if I call to them. Sean! Alright, so it's rainy and it's windy and I found some animal friends, but they're not very interesting. So as you can see, there are small lambs over there. Maybe we can call him over. Sean! Sean! Hey, Sean! Ah, hello! He realized that I don't have any food. Alright, yeah, those are the sheep. And they don't want to have anything to do with me. So let's move on. Na, wollen wir euch rauslassen? Bock, bock, bock. Oh Gott, oh Gott, oh Gott. So. Viel Spaß. Wo ist denn euer drittes Freundehuhn? Habt ihr euer drittes Huhn vergessen? Huhn Nummer 3. Hallo Phoebe! Na, bist du wieder ungeliebt? Och, du arme Katze. Ja. Ja. Oh. Phoebe! Sean! Phoebe! Oh. So, this is the most amazing cat, Phoebe. Her name's Phoebe, and when you call her name, she answers, which is great. Phoebe! Okay, not all the time. Hey! And there's the third chicken. Alright guys, so 2 days have passed since I filmed the introduction to this video. I pet a lot of animals. I went on an adventure, kinda. So we went to Lübeck, which is a nearby city. It's actually not that famous, I think, but it's very old and has a lot of old buildings, which are very nice. And we got to like sit down in a cafe and drink something, which is not allowed in Hamburg right now.
but the case numbers are lower here where we are right now, and so you can sit outside in a cafe and drink something, which is nice. And yeah, so we did a lot of things, and so I didn't read a single page of this book. So I didn't even look at it at all. So it's been lying around and it's been looking pretty, but I didn't read anything. What I did read though is The Haunting of Tram Car 015 by Djeli Clark. So this one has been on my radar for quite a while. I wanted to pick this up for quite some time now, because I read the kind of prequel story, A Dead Gin in Cairo, a while back, which was only like 45 pages long, and I really enjoyed it. And so I ordered the physical copy of this book at my local bookstore. They couldn't get it. I don't know, I never got it. So I was kind of sad, but then I forgot about it, and then I decided to pick up the ebook and the audiobook on Audible, because they have those kind of deals. When you pick up the Kindle version, which is usually around 2 to 3 euros, you can get the audiobook for 3 euros, which is like 5 euros in total. And that sounds like a very nice deal, right? So I picked up both versions so I could switch between reading and listening. So The Haunting of Tram Car 015 is not about the main character from the first story, but about two new agents from the kind of agency for the supernatural in Cairo. They're called Onsi and Hamed, and they, in the story, investigate the titular haunting of Tram Car 015. So the story itself is quite similar to the first one, A Dead Gin in Cairo, in the way it's constructed. So at first they get presented their case, and then they kind of meet someone and they're like, oh yeah, go there, they'll help you. And they go there and it doesn't quite work the way they expected. And then another person, or I think in this case it's the same person, she's like, go there, they can help you. And they go there, and then the story's not very long. It's like, I think 100 pages. So I think the audiobook was like 3 hours. So there's not a lot of different structure that you could do, which makes the plot a bit flat, because there's no real surprises in the way the story progresses, which I didn't really mind, because as I said when I talked about the first story, I really, really enjoyed the world building in this one. So the story takes place in an alternate version of Cairo in, I think, the beginning of the 20th century. So in this version of the world, Cairo is one of the most advanced cities. So they have flying, no, they're not flying, but they are like suspended tram cars. So they're quite advanced in their technology, and that all happened because some years back a djinn just merged the mundane world with the magical world, and now it's in our world, and that makes all those magical advancements and those technical advancements possible. And so this is quite a cool premise, and it's also quite a cool setting, because it's not like this London. I mean, you all know those steampunk Londons in the Victorian era, which is classic. And so now we have like steampunk Cairo with gin and magic, and I really enjoyed that. So I think the world building is great. I also like the case itself, so it was very interesting. There was also some social commentary, because during the time the story takes place, there's also this movement for women to be allowed to vote in elections in Cairo in the story. So just the story. And I think that was quite interesting as well. And I think overall the story, it was a fine story. It was fun to read, or fun to listen to. And there will be a full-length novel coming out later this month, which I had pre-ordered a few months back. It got cancelled. my bookstore doesn't do well with pre-orders, I think. And now I reordered it. So let's see if it arrives. Maybe. But yeah, so it was a very fun read. It was not the most amazing story, but I think that it's hard to achieve in a short story that only spans like 100 pages. Because I am a sucker for world building, so I think that a full-length novel will be much better for that. So I'm looking forward to the novel, which will be coming out, like I said, later this month. And I assume, I don't know, that it will feature both the protagonists from Haunting of Tram Car 015 and the first story that I did in Cairo. So I think they will both be the main characters in the novel, which I'm hoping for, and I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I just hope that it arrives and that I can read it. Yeah, so today I don't know what we're going to do. The weather's still not very nice. It's been windy and rainy and overall quite dark outside. No, that's not right. Yesterday the sun was out when we were in town, but now it's gone again. But that's kind of what you have to get used to when you live in the northern parts of Germany. But yeah, anyways, we will do something. I think we'll go to the beach. Maybe I'll take some pictures. Also, I just downloaded, I think it's called The Black God's Drums. It's also by Djeli Clark, and it's also a novella. And I also downloaded the ebook and the audiobook version of that, so I think I can still manage to fit it into our trip because it's only 100 pages long, and then I will feel like I have accomplished something because the address book, I don't think it will be read during the trip, but I still want to pick it up when I'm back home. I think I mentioned that I've been in a kind of reading slump in April, which was really annoying, and I have the feeling that with reading those shorter books and novellas that I can get back on track and being the reading person that I've been once when I was younger. But yeah, anyways, so I still want to read this, but maybe not right now. Yeah, but I think I'll keep you updated when I've finished or when I'm making progress through the Black God's Drums, which also sounds very interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it.
That's all lieb. Hallo. It's just me and my chicken friends and Phoebe. Hi, Phoebe. Okay, you're not on camera, Phoebe. So we're leaving again today. Those are our final hours in the countryside, at the beach somewhere where it's not the city, which is kind of sad. I really like it here with all those animals you can pet and the others that you can't pet because they run away from you. But anyways, so last night I read some pages of The Black God's Drums, and oh, sorry. So I really enjoyed the story. It was not as formulaic as
The Haunting of Tram Car 015, but of course it's a different kind of story. It's not like a crime-solving mystery story, it's more like an adventure story. So the book is about a girl called Jacqueline, but she's also known as Creeper, which she explains why she's called that later on in the book. And she's kind of inhabited by an African goddess or god. And one day, so she lives in New Orleans, but it's also not our New Orleans. It takes place in the, I think, 19th century. And so it's kind of complicated. The world building is very interesting. But I don't know that much about American history to kind of put it somewhere. So it seems like New Orleans is an independent city, and there's also the Confederacy and the others. To be honest, I don't know. Also, there's the sun's right behind me. I don't know if you can see me anymore. I may have to refilm this. Anyways, so she lives in New Orleans, and there's airships and there's super weapons, and I think that the colonizers didn't get that far. Because the main kind of item in this book, the Black God's drums, they're a weapon, and they kind of prevented Napoleon and his fleet to conquer Haiti. I think it was something like that. But anyways, at one day she overhears a group of people talking about the Black God's drums, and she goes to a pleasure house where she assumes that a group of other people will show up, and they do, and one of them is an airship captain. I forgot her name because I was listening to the audiobook and they never wrote it down. And so she tells the airship captain that she has information about the Black God's drums, and she says that she will tell her, but under the condition that the captain will take her with her on her airship, because she wants to join the crew. And so they go on that adventure in New Orleans and the surrounding areas, and I think it's really fun. I really like the world building, and I'm kind of curious if this story has ties into the other stories that have been written by P. Djeli Clark, because you also have this kind of steampunky setting, and you have the magical aspect is there as well. I think the time is quite similar, so the time period it takes place in is quite similar as well. And yeah, so I think there could be a connection. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I could see there being a connection between those two stories, or the three stories, and the fourth coming up this month. So yeah, I'm not done. I still have I think 30 pages left in the book. But since we'll be on the train ride back very soon, I think I will read those final pages, and then I can say that I have read 2 books on this trip successfully. Not the books that I want to read, but anyways, I read something, and I'm happy that I did, because like I said, I've been in a huge reading slump lately, and it's been really annoying, and I just want to get out of it. And I think those novellas, and also I've read some manga, so I think reading shorter stories or stories with less input and less density, I think that helped a lot with getting over this reading slump. So yeah, I think I will be tackling bigger books soon. So since my TBR this month is full of shorter stories that are 200 pages long, and I still have some leftover books that are only, I think most of them I have 200 to 300 pages left in those books, so that's not that much. So you could count those as shorter stories as well, because I've read the first half. And yeah, that's why I'm optimistic that I will be able to finish something. And yeah, so that this month will be better, and I'm hopeful, and I'm also excited to make more videos, because I've been not making that many videos lately as well. But yeah, I feel better now, and I feel more productive, and I think that in the future I will be
back with more videos. Also, my hair is wet, that's why it looks like that. Yeah, so tomorrow is going to be a very hot day, I think. So you can see that I'm wearing my like winter jacket. Because it's been very cold and we're at the coast, so it's always windy and rainy, and since you can eat at restaurants or you can sit at cafes but only outside because of regulations, corona regulations, I decided to bring this jacket because I'm not that well equipped for cold. I'm a summer person, so I would like to live in the warm places. Yeah, but anyways, tomorrow it's going to be like 25 degrees Celsius, and that's very warm, and it's a very sudden jump up from like 10 degrees max. Maybe I think it's going to be 14 today, but it's still very cold. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it getting warmer again, which is great. I also planted some plants on my balcony, so I hope that those will grow soon. I would really love to see them become beautiful flowers that the bees can enjoy, because it's called a bee garden. So the things, what's it called? The things you put in the ground for plants to grow. Yeah, anyways, those are for bees, and they're not the prettiest flowers, but I think they are kind of helpful for nature, and I think that's a great thing, especially when you're in the middle of a big city. So yeah, I hope they will come out okay. I dreamt last night that all the containers containing the plants were knocked over because there has been a storm in the past few days when we were gone. So I hope that they're fine. Maybe something has grown out of them a little bit. I don't know. I'll see when we come back. But yeah, I hope they're all right. I hope they're doing fine, actually. And that would be nice, yeah. So they're doing fine. Alright, so since you guys all seem to like the trees so much, I found some city trees. Yeah, so I'm back home, I'm back in Hamburg. There's no nature here, it's just some random tree, that's all I have. Yeah, so I finished the Black God's Drums on the train, and I just want to share some final thoughts about the book, because I really liked it. So it was a fun short story about a girl who saves the city from destruction, and so yeah, I thought it was a fun story. I do not think that it was the greatest story ever written, and I, in general, think that I'm not the typical novella reader, so I think I prefer full-length novels just because of the fact that they have the deeper world building, they have the deeper stories, they have more character development, and just more depth in general. And I think that's the kind of story that I prefer, because I am the kind of world-building person. And yeah, but anyways, so I still think that those novellas that I read during my trip were a great way for me to kind of get back into reading, because I've been slumping a bit lately, and so I really appreciate those shorter stories for that reason. Yeah, so I will be keeping up with Djeli Clark. I think I want to pick up Ring Shout next. It's another one of his shorter stories. And then I hope that I can get my hands on A Master of Djinn soon. It said 3 weeks when I ordered it. Also, I'm sorry for the construction noises and the train noises. Yeah, this is not the calmest environment where I am in. But anyway, so that's all that I want to say for today. I hope you enjoyed this kind of reading vlog. Just maybe leave a comment and tell me if you liked watching this, or if you didn't care about any of the extra stuff and just wanted to hear about the books. I will be reading the address book. I promise I will read it, I will do a video on it, and I will tell you what I think about it. But for now, that's all I wanted to tell you, and see you again soon.